As we prepare to worship this Sunday morning in our own homes, I want to provide you with some information about family worship in general and some practical advice for doing it well. While having a regular, organized time of worship at home is maybe not a familiar practice for some of you, it's actually been a significant part of Christian tradition for much of church history. I was introduced to the concept of family worship a little over a decade ago when I heard a series of sermons on the topic by Joel Beeke. And since then, Gretchen and I have made efforts to have family worship be a regular part of our lives. For some seasons, we've gathered as a family to worship together after supper. At other times, first thing in the morning before we separate for the day. Sometimes we've been faithful to do it daily. At other times, once or twice a week is all we could manage, if that. Depending on the season of life and what was happening with our children and their ages, things change. Sometimes our family worship has been wonderful, and it's resulted in long conversations among us about spiritual things. Other times it has been a disaster, and it's ended in tears and spankings for some people. As Pastor Carroll observed about prayer in one of his sermons last summer, the goal is consistency, not perfection. To go ourselves as individuals and as households to the throne of grace again and again, to Jesus Christ himself, and every day by faith to try to get a glimpse of his glory again, to try to touch the hem of his robe in that way. That's the goal. We encourage all of you to plan to have a time of family worship together in your homes this Sunday morning. If you live alone, have your own private worship service. If you have children or a spouse or roommates, gather everyone together. We'll be providing you with an order of service, which will include readings and songs and notes for prayer to follow. And I'm going to send you a short video explaining a biblical text that you can use in place of a sermon. Once you get this order of service, read through it in advance. Whoever is going to be leading, take some time, read the texts, listen to the songs. If you've got multiple people in your home, plan in advance who will do which reading and who will lead which prayer. Make yourself familiar with what's going to happen. And also pray and ask God to help you to worship him as a family. As you may know, the elders at Grace Church meet before the service every week to ask God to bless our gatherings as a church. Do the same for your worship at home. Then, on Sunday morning, set aside a time and place to gather. We suggest that you meet at 10:45, as we normally do, but do what's best for your household. Get the room situated. Silence your phones, turn off the television, minimize distractions. Make sure that everyone has a copy of the scriptures and the song lyrics. And if you've got older kids, explain to them that while there's a time to be silly and joke, there's also a time to be serious, and this is a time to be serious and pay attention. If you've got small children, you may need to get them onto your lap. You may need to strap them into a high chair, give them a snack, something to keep them occupied so you can carry through together with worship. Then, once you're ready, start through the order of service together. Read the readings, pray together these prayers of praise and confession. As much as possible, encourage active participation from everybody. We should all be singing, all praying, all reading, and listening together. If you've got access to a laptop or a television and you can play the video that I'll be sending you, do so when you get to that part of the service. Otherwise, just read the text and make some observations. The person who's leading asks some questions about the text. What does this tell us about God? What does this tell us about our sin? What does it tell us about Jesus Christ and his sacrifice for us? And then pray together. When you're done, close your service in prayer or by singing the doxology, and that's it. You might not have a beautiful room to meet in or hundreds of people around you, but you will have the Word of God, and you will have the Spirit of God. And friends, that is all that we need.